draft day. Didn't get drafted, but they still definitely showed interest. So I had my pick between probably about 7 or 8 different teams.
Okay.
That was the team that I was most familiar with, so I thought that was the best decision to take.
So you signed a contract with them, okay, and didn't work out.
No, didn't work out. I was with them through OTAs, which is our off-season training activities and mini camp, things like that. That's from draft day until the end of June. Was with them, everything was going good. I was making plays, performing pretty well.
You're feeling good about your shot, right?
Feeling pretty good.
Yeah.
Feeling pretty good. And meantime, we're getting married. We have our date set and everything for 8 weeks of 08, and then we had to change it because training camp and things like that.
So you get your wedding day planned, but now you have to change your wedding day, which I bet went over really well with you.
Yeah.
Right?
Last minute too. It was last minute, so it was pretty stressful.
Like within 4 months.
So 4 months out, you change your wedding day, you go around
Football.
fitting it. So you end up getting married, going back out to Minnesota.
No, actually, my wedding date was for July 18th, so this is right in between finishing up mini camp and OTAs and going to training camp. And came home from OTAs and mini camp and feeling good about my performance and everything. And I got a call from the GM, Mr. Key, he's got some bad news. We're going to have to release you. At the time they had, I think they had 6 draft picks, or 5 or 6 draft picks. None of those guys had signed their contracts yet. And there's a limited amount, there's a limited number that they can have on under contract at one time. So what their plan was to release all of their the free agents that they signed and get the draft picks signed, and then go back and get us all back signed to come back from training camp. But that didn't happen. So, and you get this news how many days before you get married? About 2 weeks.
Yeah. So 2 weeks before you're going to get married, you find out, guess what? You're not going to move to Minnesota. That doesn't have a job there. He got cut.
Yep.
And were you under contract with anybody when you got married?
No.
Okay. So you're basically marrying an unemployed man.
Yeah. But he has a college degree.
But yeah. Which, by the way, he could put to use and he gets a good job, right? But then another team calls you.
Yep.
Who calls you?
The Cleveland Browns.
The Cleveland Browns. Okay. So you're beginning to work your way down in the NFL. Now we got the Cleveland Browns. All right. So you're going to go in and you sign a free agent contract with Cleveland. How's that work? Okay.
Signed it. Well, they brought me in, worked me out, and said we like everything you see, we'll sign you. When I got there, and they told us we only have one spot. When I got there, it was about 10 to 12 other defensive backs that work out. And but one guy in particular, he was from Ohio State, and he played the defensive backs coach and the defensive coordinator at Cleveland. Those guys were his college coaches at Ohio State. So I'm like,
got a Ohio connection going on there in every way.
Yeah. They already told me they had one spot, so I'm just going here and give everything I got. If it happens, it happens. But obviously, this guy clearly has the edge. So I went through the workout. The workout was great, and they actually ended up signing both of them. They cut. On that same day, they cut a defensive back that they had on the roster and signed both.
So they cut somebody on the roster to make room for the both of you.
Right.
Okay. Now you're on practice squad. You're on the.
At this time, it was still off. It was still training camp. So
they still training camp.
Yeah, they didn't have the active roster, practice squad roster.
Okay, so you're anticipating the season now.
Yeah.
Okay. As we move into the season, what ends up happening at Cleveland?
I ended up making the practice squad. I was with them for like the first 8 weeks of the season, and down there they bring if anyone gets cut, no matter who you are, they bring you in for workout. It's like a chop house down there on Mondays.
Wow.
So week in and week out, if you don't perform, and they see somebody in there that might look better than you on that day, they're going to sign them.
Now, can you just imagine a kind of life where every week your company brings somebody else in to see if they like them better than you and you could be gone? Did you imagine the uncertainty of that kind of life? I mean, Gia, anything to worry about in that kind of life?
Just a little.
You know, I mean, here you are, you're married now, okay? And he's kind of like going any week. I mean, you can get hurt on any week. You can get replaced on any week. And that kind of, how did you deal with that sort of uncertainty as you face that week in and week out?
Well, it was not easy. Like I said, my nature is to worry about everything. So every Monday when my phone would ring and say, "Do you have on it?" I didn't want to answer, because does he have a job? Does he not? A lot of deep breaths, a lot of, him calming me down, which is what happens a lot. It's going to be okay. You're going to be okay. Things are going to work out. A few glasses of wine at times. But no, it's hard. It's hard. So every week, and you're right. You think about if every week someone came into your job, to our normal life, our normal lives, and you have to constantly be worried about, are you going to be able to feed your family? Are you going to be able to pay your mortgage? That's hard. It's stressful.
Yeah. And as things turned out, to kind of fast forward a little bit, things didn't work out at Cleveland.
No.
They ended up letting you go one of those weeks. At what point in the season was it?
This was about 8 weeks into the season.
About 8 weeks, so roughly halfway into the NFL season. You get released, and then, but your career's not over.
No.
What happened?
It's not over. At that point, I'm still trusting in God. I know all of this stuff isn't happening for just for no reason. So I'm just praying and trusting that another door will open up. And the day after I got released from Cleveland, I got a call from the Detroit Lions.
So you have now reached the bottom.
I went from
as low as you can go.
I went from pretty good playoff contender, and we might win 5 games straight, in everything.
Now, seriously, Travis, I could make the roster.
I was excited because I'm thinking the same thing.
Come on, man.
Exactly.
Now, you said that was a little dysfunctional inside that
Oh man,
organization.
it was very, very dysfunctional.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that it's a completely different situation up there now. They got all the coaches, but
They wouldn't even give you a playbook for how long?
for the whole first week I was there, man, I would ask the coaches every day. I need a playbook. I got to get into the playbook. I need to know what's going on. They would just kind of brush me off. I got to worry about the guys I can't get these guys ready. These guys act like they don't know what's going on, so I don't have time to worry about you. That was kind of the situation.
Exactly. And so mercifully, that situation also ended.
Yes.
And even Detroit let you go.
Man, I'm thinking, I can't make it on Detroit.
And I know I'm going to fast forward here because I got a couple of things I want to make sure that we hit, but you end up then getting a call from San Diego.
Yep.
And of course, at this point, you're going, okay, you look for a place in the Twin Cities. Nah, it didn't work out.
Mm-hmm.
You look for a place in Cleveland because it's going to happen. That didn't work out.
Mm-hmm.
All right? Detroit, you said, I'm not even looking for a place because I already went to Michigan. And now it's like, now suddenly your husband's like San Diego.
Yeah.
Like other coast.
Yeah.
You're not making that move.
Right.
Right?
Well, I'd love to, but no.
So you go out and you ended up signing a contract out there with San Diego. You're with them all the way through the end of the year and 2 games in the playoffs, right? Okay, and then when that season ends, they let everybody go? Is that how that went?
No, they just sent us all home because, the practice squad, when you sign a practice squad contract at the end of that year,
right,
the contract is done. So what they do, they send us all home and said, we'll evaluate and get back to you guys in a couple days. And we just got done.
See how that goes.
Get beat by
So think about this first year. I mean, here he is, all the uncertainty of playing pro sports. And he ends up, not getting the draft. It'll be okay. We'll work something out. Signs with Minnesota. Yeah, that's working out cool. Oh, bottom falls out, That's okay. Cleveland calls. Okay, that's good. We move into the season. You look for a place to live. Oh, that falls. Detroit calls. You go, spend a little bit of time with them. That falls apart. Now you're in San Diego. What's that?
That already fell apart before you got
Oh, that's true. That was falling apart before you got there. Okay. Now you're at 4 teams. 4 places, 4 teams. But at this point, you have to be getting used to, I have no idea what tomorrow's going to look like.
Yeah.
Are you getting any better at handling that uncertainty as this unfolds?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. And what is it that you began to learn or do just to deal with this week to week? Who knows where my life may go?